Hi, I'm Samuel, and today I'm going to be teaching you how saints make money. And there is only one way, and it's going to be good. So I'm going to start right now. Okay, so there's only one way that people are supposed to make money, and that is the only way that Christians can make money. I said that because there are other ways that people make money that are not the way that Christians make money, and it's not the way that people originally are supposed to make money according to God's plan. So let me say it like this: there is one way to make money, and that way is by working. That is the only way to make money. That is the only way that God designed people to make money, by working with your hands and building something. If you look through the scriptures, if you look through the Bible, if you look through every way that God had a communication with people concerning these matters, one thing is continuous. God blesses people by their work. People make money, people become rich by their work. I didn't use the word rich. I'm not using the word rich for a simple reason. The reason is because the word rich has too many connotations to too many people, and frankly, it's too relative and too subjective. For example, what does rich mean? What you would call a middle class person today, by 100 years ago, would be considered a fantastically rich people. Many of you today watching this video are more comfortable, have more resources, and are living a better standard of living than the king of your village was living 100 years ago. We are living at a time when human beings are having unprecedented wealth and prosperity. Then even if we don't look at it like that in terms of time, if we look at it in terms of objectively now, at what line do we draw poverty and riches? Where do we call poor? What do we call average? What do we call rich? Right? Look at Nigeria. What a person will call rich in Nigeria in another country might not necessarily be rich. Does not mean that in Nigeria is not considered rich, right? So the whole thing is subjective. So I'm not going to use the word rich. I'm just going to talk about how to make money. So let's go back to what I was saying. By working, that is the only way. But the thing about working is that for that work to make money, it has to stand on two legs. And the two legs that it stands on is being competent in the work that you are doing. That means that you are very skilled in that work. That means you know your job, you are highly skilled at it, you are competent at it, and by controlling your spending, by being prudent in your spending, by being wise in your spending, by not being frivolous, by being wise in your spending. Those are the two legs that work stands on. You work with your hands, you make money, and when you are working, you are competent, and the money that you've made, you are wise at it. When you do that for a good amount of time, you are going to have a lot of money. You're going to have at least more money than you need, that you won't have enough to give to other people. It is that simple. I know someone is thinking, oh, what about Solomon? Oh, what about Abraham? God blessed them and they became rich. No, Solomon did not become rich because he sacrificed 1,000 rams. Solomon became rich because he worked for his money. Do you think it is a coincidence that over and over and over in the book that Solomon wrote, he kept saying that the only way to be rich is to be diligent, and the poor and the lazy hand will become poor? You think it's a mistake? Over and over, he will tell you the hand of the diligent will bear rule, the hand of the lazy will become impoverished. The lazy man has an excuse for not going out, and then he becomes poor. The lazy man, he keeps saying it over and over. Do you think it's by mistake? It is not. Solomon worked for his money. Let me tell you how Solomon became rich. Solomon was the head of a nation that had economic prosperity because he directed it well by his wisdom, right? So he was really wise. He directed the economy of Israel well, so Israel became prosperous, so that the Bible says that gold was all over the place, figuratively speaking. Then you know what he did? He now taxed them. I hope you know Solomon taxed his people heavily. He taxed a rich nation and took all the money for himself. Yes, that's why when his son came on board and the people literally came to beg him to reduce the taxes that their father put on them because it was too much. That is one. Number two, Solomon was a management consultant. He was solving issues for other kings, and those kings were coming to him to pay. He turned himself to some kind of tourist attraction where kings from other nations were coming to see him, asking him questions. Think of Solomon as a center of wisdom tourism. That is what he did. He worked for his money, right? Abraham worked for his money. Abraham cultivated his goats and rams for many years. Jacob worked for his money. David worked for his money. They all worked for their money. Money didn't just drop from the sky. Look about people like Elijah. God sent crows to come and feed Elijah while he was in the desert and all that. Are you sure you want to live like Elijah? Are you sure? Because if you want to live that kind of life where you're not going to work for your money, you're waiting for people and crows to come and drop money on your lap, you're going to live the Elijah grade of life. It's the kind of life that John the Baptist lived. Are you sure you want to live that life? Because just do a little research about the kind of life that Elijah lived. I don't think you want to live that life. If you want to live a life based on waiting for the mercy of God, for someone to remember you and to have mercy on you, for someone to give you money, what's going to happen is that you will never have more than enough. You will never have more than enough. How the blessing of God will come is that you will be competent in your job, and then men will favor you in your competence. Stop praying for a contract that you're not competent to execute, because you're going to give all of us a bad name. What should happen is that you will be competent at your job, you will be really good at it, and then the favor of God will come upon it such that you will be getting jobs. That is how it works, right? Like Jacob, you are competent, and at the place of your work, your boss will give you whatever it is you earn based on your competence, right? You know, that is the template. You are competent. You are competent, and then contracts come to you. You are competent, and then you go for a job interview, and then they give you the job. You are competent, and then they promote you. You are competent, and when unreasonable men are trying to stand against you, God will protect you from them. It is God blessing the work of your hands. That is how the blessing comes. So every blessing of God comes within the context of you working competently with your money, with your skills, right? And when you make the money, if you are not wise, if you give yourself over to earthly pleasures and spend the money as the money comes, you will never be rich. You will never have more than enough, because you will always have something to spend money on. Being prudent in your spending on the essentials, is what will guarantee you to have more than enough in your savings that you can now invest and then make more money, and then you can give to other people. See, listen, there's no, if we talk about investment in this world, you say you want to buy stocks in a company and you're going to get rich by stocks. Let's grant you that, right? The thing is that you are investing in a company where someone is working. So you're investing in someone's work. If someone is not working in Guinness and in Nestle, you can't buy their stocks. You say some people inherited the money. The money they're inheriting is someone's sweat. Someone worked for the money and handed it over to them. And if they don't work, the money will diminish and disappear. So work is the only way. You work and create value. You don't become rich by giving tithes. Yes, I'm sorry. You don't become rich by giving offering. You don't become rich by praying. You become rich by working with your hands. That is the only way that saints are meant to make money. Granted, some work will make more money than others. It is true. Take, for example, I'm a doctor. The best I'm ever going to get, if I'm going to stay with clinical practice, is to treat one person at a time and get payment for each patient at a time. The best way I can ever scale up is to begin to probably attend to really rich clients that can pay me $1 million per consultation, right? So no matter how much they pay me, I'm still going to treat one patient at a time because it is the nature of my work. But it can never be compared to someone like C. Ronaldo or Messi. That even if each person watching them all over the world paid $1 per viewing session, they will still be richer than me overnight. Because $1 from one person times 1 billion people watching them is a lot of money. So it is true, because of the nature of the job, some jobs will earn more money than others. That is understandable. But that is not the problem for a believer, because the believer is not greedy. The believer does not measure himself by the amount of money that he has. The believer is content. The believer has godly priorities. So not having as much money as some other people does not get to a Christian. A believer does not envy other people's money. Whatever job you do, whatever God has called you to do, that job is more than enough to meet your needs and for you to even give to other people. That is how to make money. This is the will of God for everybody that is a Christian. I hope that is clear, and I hope that I've been able to touch you. Next time, I'm going to be building on what I said when I said you don't get rich by paying tithe. I know it's a sensitive topic, but I think it's time for me to talk about it. So look out for that. So until next time, stay blessed.